Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Today's class is going to be all about connecting and grounding to ourselves and finding that strength within to help us get through not just the postures on our mat, but any difficult things that we might encounter off the mat during our daily lives. So if we can start our day finding that inner strength and power, then maybe it'll help us deal with some of those situations as they come up along the day. So we'll go ahead and start seated. Any props that you want to go ahead and grab while we're getting settled here, you can go ahead and do so. If you need a blanket just to fold up or a pillow to put underneath your sit bones, or if you have any props like blocks, go ahead and grab those too. And then again, we'll start seated so you can be on your shins. We're not going to be seated too long. We'll go right into standing. So if you want, you can be on your booty, shins, whatever feels comfortable. And then Grant again is going to be joining me today to help throughout the practice. And it is really great to be able to practice with someone. So if you have the opportunity, it just does make the practice a little bit more enjoyable. And then we also have Bruno here to help keep us grounded and back to our breath with his distractions. So we'll go ahead and when you're ready, find that comfortable seat. Close the eyes, and then you don't need to seal the lips right away, but I do want you to start with a smile on your face. Open up through the heart, and just take a few moments here to start arriving on your mat. And you always hear instructors saying arriving in the space, and that really is not just the physical space that you are in, but where you are mentally, where your heart is. And as you start to quiet the surroundings around you, we'll tune into where we are in this moment right now. So being seated, we're connected to our physical surroundings, but are you able to slow the thoughts and connect to your breath? As we slow down to begin our morning, start to connect with your breath. You don't need to do anything fancy with it, but just notice how the breath feels entering and leaving the body. And as we find this settledness to ourselves this morning, letting go of the feeling of rushing, the feeling of urgency. Feel connected to your surroundings. And then let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. And to begin our practice together, we'll take 3 breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. So when you're ready together, big, slow inhale in through the nose. Pause at the top naturally, and then open the mouth and slowly sigh everything out. And we'll do that 2 more times. Slow inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale to sigh it out. And one last time. Big inhale. Feel the lengthening and expanding of the ribs and the lungs. Open the mouth, slowly control and sigh everything out of the body. After that last breath, seal the lips and start to focus now on your conscious breath, breathing deeply and rhythmically in and out of the nose. So as you start to find that pace, connect with the breath and how the body is feeling with your conscious breath. Maybe take 2 more breaths here to come into this morning. And then right now, with the lips sealed and the eyes closed, this is your opportunity to invite your intention into your day and into your week. So by setting the tone, consciously thinking of how you want your day to be, we're more likely to move in that direction with all the situations that happen along the way. So take a full breath here and a full breath out. And then when you're ready, we'll blink the eyes open. Keep that smile on your face if possible, just the corners of the mouth turned up. And then we're going to come over onto our hands, come right into downward facing dog. So we're not going to be on the knees. I want to lift the sit bones as high as possible and start to pedal out the feet. So then that way we wake the tops of the feet up and the ankles and the knees. Find your foundation with the palms, but feel really connected to your surroundings here. Being thankful that you have a roof over your head, you have a floor below you, you're able to find comfort within those walls. Take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here, and then find stillness in your downward dog. As you spread the fingers nice and wide, I want you to root down right in between the pointer finger and thumb. So when you do that, you're almost rotating the weight in between those palms, into the palms in between those fingers. And then press the floor down, almost like you're trying to scoot the mat forward. And then lift the booty as high as possible, almost like you're trying to touch the sit bones up towards the ceiling. And then take 1 more full breath. And then I want you to look forward. Very slowly start to walk your feet up towards your hands. And you'll end up in a forward fold right behind the hands. So widen the feet a little bit wider than the hips and then grab onto opposite elbows. I want you to roll the weight into the toes. Put a slight bend in the knees this morning to start. And then tuck the chin so you feel the crown of the head, the very top of the head pointing towards the floor. And then feel that spreading of the sit bones in the low back. See if you can bring your chest a little bit closer to your thighs and then a little bit more weight into the toes. And then maybe sway from side to side, just swinging the torso. And take 1 more breath. And we'll release the hands back for the floor. Bring the feet hip-width distance apart if you need to adjust. And on your inhale, flat back. So fingertips can stay on the floor or you can bring your hands to the shins. When you do this, we'll take a couple breaths here. Reach the crown of the head forward. Tuck the chin and feel the ears in line with the shoulders. Take another breath in. And then use your exhale to fold forward. Feel the navel come towards the spine. Do that 1 more time, flat back. Inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, forward fold all the way down. Put a slight bend in the knees. On your inhale, you're going to slowly rise all the way up. When you do so, feel the palms touch overhead. And then exhale to bring the hands down to the heart. So just for video purposes, Grant and I are going to be towards the back of the mat, but when you're practicing, be towards the front. So as we go through the flow. So bring the hands back to the heart if they're not. Ground the feet into the floor. Lift up through the chest and then close the eyes here. I want you to feel the feet really rooting into the floor. And then feel the inner thighs rotating, spiraling inwards towards one another. Lift up through the sternum, soften the shoulder blades down the back, and then take another breath, growing the crown of the head taller towards the ceiling. Blink the eyes open. We're going to inhale, raise the arms out and up. I want you to stay here, interlace the palms, and then flip the palms up towards the ceiling. As you do this, notice if you jet the ribs out, you want to keep the ribs tucked in. So as you press up with the palms, also root the feet into the floor. And then feel the shoulder blades move down the back. Sometimes we creep the shoulders up towards the earlobes. Shoulder blades move down the back. Keep lifting up through the sternum. Take another big breath in and a big breath out. Release the hands and grab the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen that right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you'll lean over towards the left side. When you do this, root the weight into the right foot. So we want to really grow long along this right side of the body. And then release the shoulder away from the ear. Take another breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, come back to center. Switch wrists, grab the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale to lengthen, and then you'll exhale, lean over to that left side, or to the right side, excuse me. Feel the left foot grounding into the floor so then you can feel a little bit more space along the left side of the body. One more breath in, and a full breath out. Inhale, come back to center, extend the fingertips towards the ceiling, look up, palms touch. As you exhale, hinge forward all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, hands to the shins or keep the hands on the floor, reach the crown forward. Exhale to forward fold, find your downward facing dog. Root the palms into the floor. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Take a big, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Soften the heels to the floor. One more breath in. Full breath out. I want you to rock forward into plank pose or high push-up position. You can always drop the knees down to the floor if needed. But if you can, keep the backs of the legs lifting towards the ceiling. Reach the heels back. Soften the shoulders away from the back of the head. And then feel the crown of the head reach forward. Core is engaged. Legs are engaged. Take one more big breath in. And then a full breath out. This time, rock the shoulders past the wrists. As you exhale, you're going to lower all the way down. Hug the elbows close to the sides of the body and lower as slowly as possible. Keep the hands in line with the chest. Place the tops of the feet onto the floor and press the tops of the feet really firmly into the floor so that the legs are engaged. Elbows hug into the body. On your next inhale, lift the back of the head for baby cobra. So you're still pressing the tops of the feet into the floor as you lift. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Press the palms into the floor. Take one more breath in to lift a little bit higher. And then exhale to release. Keep the elbows hugged in. Inhale to tuck the toes. And use your exhale with or without the knees to find downward facing dog. So we'll all end up in downward facing dog however you get there. Find your foundation. Root the palms into the floor. Lift the sit bones up nice and high. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to lift the heels up nice and high. Bend the knees. Look forward. Bottom of the exhale, bring the feet behind the hands. So you can walk or hop there. Inhale, flat back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Soften the shoulder blades away from the ears. Exhale to forward fold. On your inhale, bend the knees. Rise all the way up with the arms. Palms touch overhead. Exhale to pull the hands down to the heart. Close the eyes. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, arms out and up. Palms touch. Stay lifted behind the back. Lift the hands with the right thumb on top. Reach the knuckles down for the floor. Again, don't jet the ribs out. See if you can keep the ribs tucked into the back side of the body. Now, as you point the knuckles down, crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in here. And then when you exhale, we're going to hinge forward. You can keep that slight bend in the knees. Soften the shoulder blades away from the ears. Reach the knuckles now up towards the ceiling. Take a full cycle of breath here. Take one more breath in, seeing if you can extend the knuckles a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, release the hands all the way down for the floor. Inhale, flat back, hands come to the shins or keep the fingertips on the earth. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, find your downward facing dog. Root the palms into the floor, lift the sit bones up nice and high. Take a full deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, lift the heels up, look forward, bend the knees. Bottom of the exhale, make your way to the back of the hands. Inhale, flat back, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, root into the feet. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Close the eyes. Take a breath in and a breath out. Keep the eyes closed. We're going to inhale to bring the arms out and up. Stay lifted. Hands come behind the body. Interlace now the left thumb on top. Root the knuckles down for the earth. Lift up through the heart. Soften the shoulder blades. Feel the collarbone moving away from the chin. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. If possible, keep the eyes closed. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to hinge forward. Come into a forward fold, lift the knuckles up towards the ceiling. You can put a slight bend in the knees. Try not to hyperextend in the elbows. Put a slight bend in the elbows if you tend to do so. Take a full cycle of breath here. And then we'll release the fingertips all the way down for the floor. Inhale, flat back, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, find your downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Hamstrings press for the back of the room. Big, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale now, the right leg is going to lift up behind you. Keep the hips square to the shoulders. Look forward. Let's plant the foot now between the palms. Stay on that back toe crease for now, but make sure that the feet are on separate lines. You don't want the feet on a balance beam. Make sure that they're on two tracks. And then ground into the right foot on your inhale, rise all the way up. Sink into that front knee. Arms are right alongside the head, and then rotate the pinkies towards one another. Shoulder blades are soft. Take a full deep breath here. And then grab this left wrist with the right hand. Inhale to lengthen. Now as you exhale, stay balanced. Just lean slightly over to the right side. It's going to be hard to stay balanced. Find your drishti, something to focus on. Take another breath, maybe leaning a little bit over to the right more. And then inhale, come back to center, extend the fingertips. Arms are going to come out to a T as you exhale. Inhale to lengthen like you're trying to touch opposite walls. And then when you exhale, we're going to twist towards the right knee. Keep the arms long. Watch out for that window. Sink into that front knee. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Really nice, guys. Inhale to come back to center. Hands now are going to come behind the back. Right thumb on top. Extend the fingertips, or the knuckles, down for that back heel. And then two options here. You can stay upright, or if you want to try and balance a little bit, you'll stay on that back toe crease and you'll hinge forward, finding humble warrior. Right shoulder comes towards that right knee. Whew. Find your balance. If you come out of it, make sure just to come back in. Keep breathing. Take a big full breath in and a full breath out. Hands come all the way down to the floor as you exhale. Ground the left palm into the floor. Keep the left leg engaged. And then inhale, right hand up to the ceiling. Root into the left palm. Soften through the right shoulder. Big breath in And a slow breath out. One more cycle. And then your next inhale, you'll bring the right hand down, really nice. Step the right foot back into plank, and then lift the sit bones into downward facing dog. So you can take a few breaths here in downward dog. You can come into child's pose if that feels better for you. We'll take maybe 3 to 5 breaths here. Come back to your intention. Slow the breath down. Come back to your surroundings here. If the mind has started to wander, come back to the intention you created. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then on your next inhale, left leg lifts. Look forward very gently. Plant the foot between the palms. Again, make sure that your feet are not on the same line, that they're on separate tracks. Press into the ball of the left foot and then inhale to rise all the way up. Sink into that front knee. Back leg stays firm. You can always put a little bend in the knee if you need to as well. But I want the shoulders and the hips all pointing forward. Hug the arms close to the head and then spiral the triceps forward, and that's what brings the pinkies towards one another. Take a big full breath in and a full breath out. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen, and then as you exhale, lean over to the left. And start to find your drishti or your gazing point to focus on. Come back to your breath. Lean a little bit more over to the left side, soften through the right shoulder. One more full cycle here. Inhale to come back to center. As you exhale, extend the fingertips to try and touch opposite walls. Grow really long through the arms. Inhale to grow tall. This time as you exhale, we'll twist to that left knee. Try and extend the fingertips as far away from one another as possible. Pull the belly button up and in towards the spine, and that'll help you with your twist. Wow. One more full breath here. And then come back to center. Extend the fingertips up. As we exhale, we're going to bring the hands behind the back. Left thumb interlaces now on top. Reach the knuckles down for that back heel and then open up through the chest. Make sure you're not jetting the ribs forward. See if you can keep everything over that, over the hips. And you can choose to stay here or take a big inhale to grow tall. As you exhale, start to hinge forward. Left shoulder comes towards the left knee. Keep rooting into the ball of the left foot. And then either gaze at the left foot or behind you at the right foot. Take another full breath. Feel the wobbles. And then let's release the hands all the way down to the floor. Right hand grounds into the earth. Right leg stays firm. Inhale to extend the left fingertips up. Keep the right hip in line with the left. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Take another full cycle of breath. And then use your next inhale to unwind. Left hand comes down. Root the left palm. Step the left foot back. Find plank pose. Inhale to grow long. And then exhale to lift the hips. Take a full breath in. Press the earth down and forward. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Take one more big, deep breath in. And then I want you to come down onto the knees, bring the sit bones onto the floor, extend the legs forward. We'll rock the sit bones from side to side. Flex the feet. And then if this is too much for the hips, you can always have a little bit of space between the feet. The other thing too is if it's a little bit challenging to sit, this is where that block or a pillow underneath the sit bones will be helpful. It'll just lift the hips a little bit to help rotate the pelvis down. So if you need any props, go ahead and slip them underneath the sit bones. And then we'll all bring the hands right alongside the hips. Use the fingers in that tented position to help you lift up through the chest. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Slightly hug the elbows behind you. And then use this leverage to help engage the core. Close the eyes. Come back to that smile on your face. Check in with your breath. And then check in with where the mind is wandering. Are you going back to your to-do list? Are you able to come back to your practice here? Maybe you use your intention as an anchor. Take one more cycle. Keep the eyes closed if possible. Inhale to extend the fingertips out and up. As you exhale, you're going to lead with the heart and dive over the thighs. Come into our forward fold, but seated here. You can grab on for the calves, you can grab for the ankles, or you can reach down for the edges of the feet. It doesn't really matter where you grab. You want to think about reaching the heart down towards the toes and feeling length on the back side of the body. So not just the hamstrings, but also think about the back itself. Tuck the chin slightly so that the back of the neck is protected. And then reach the heart a little bit closer towards the toes. And then can you find your breath once again? The breath is what is going to create the space in the body where we need the change. So take a moment here, soften into the pose, soften into your breath. And then we'll tuck the chin, inhale to rise, come all the way up, bend that right knee and hug it into the chest. You're either going to keep it to the inside of the left thigh or you're going to step it over. If the hips are tight, then I'd probably just suggest keeping it to the inside of the left thigh. And then keep the left leg firm itself. Inhale to grow nice and tall out of the spine. And I want you to exhale to twist towards that right knee. Elbow can press into the right thigh to help you with your twist. And then just start to gaze to the back of the room. You're still lifting up through the sternum. Back of the neck is long. Take one more full breath. Really nice. Use an inhale to unwind, come back to center. And I want you to keep going. Keep the leg wherever it is, but start to open up through the other way. So you'll open up the opposite way of the right hip. Left hand comes behind you. You can use that right elbow to the inside of that right knee just to help for leverage. Notice maybe a little difference in the twist here. And then use your inhale to unwind, come back to center. Right leg extends straight. Left leg is going to come in now. Keep the right leg firm and then choose, do you want to step the left foot over the right or not? Inhale to grow nice and tall. As you exhale, we'll twist now towards the left knee. You can either hug the knee, you can press the elbow into the knee for leverage. You want to stay nice and tall through the spine. Belly button helps with the twist by pulling it towards the back of the spine. Soften through your shoulders. Take a full breath. And then use your inhale to unwind, come back to center, and then we'll go all the way to the opposite side. Left elbow presses to the inside of the left thigh. Use the fingertips behind you just to help keep the spine straight. And then take a full breath here. Use your next inhale to unwind, come back to center. And then we're going to just bring both of the feet together. Soles of the feet come together. If that doesn't feel good, then you can come into a cross-legged position. But if the feet are together, you can either have the heels close to the pelvis or not, depending on how tight the inner thighs are. Hold your feet now like you're reading a book. Inhale to grow tall. Notice how it's so easy to slump just with what we do throughout the day. So grow really tall through the spine. Pull the shoulder blades back. And then as you exhale, you can choose to stay here. This might feel good, feeling the sit bones rooting into the floor. You can also hinge forward. You can round the back. But think about bringing the sternum closer towards the toes, whichever version you're in. And then how is the breath? Are you still breathing your conscious breath here? I want you to take 2 more breaths to yourself, nice and slow. Keep the eyes closed. You're going to inhale to stack the spine, rise up. Find a comfortable cross-legged position for the legs. Rock from side to side so you're really rooted into your surface and into your surroundings. And then let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Grow tall. Feel the thumbs pressing against the heart. And then find that small smile on the front of your face. Take one final breath here to honor the time that you have gifted to yourself this morning and to honor the intention that you created. And keep the smile on your face. Blink the eyes open. Namaste.
Namaste.
Well, I hope that you were able to move through that practice and find a pace to yourself for your day. Find that strength from within to help you encounter anything that comes across your day today. It can be not just anything that's challenging, but how do you handle those positive things too? Finding that evenness to everything that comes across our mats. I hope you have a really great rest of your day and are mindful through all of your interactions. And then I hope to see you on Wednesday at 9 a.m. again. Have a really great rest of your day.